Hello there and welcome to another edition of the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Greg, and in studio with me this evening I have Lydia Amutenya. She is the PRO for the city of Windhoek. Welcome, Lydia.
Thank you, Ogito, for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Recently the city has been having a series of meetings, pre-stakeholder engagements. What is that?
Ogito, apart from the fancy name,
Yeah.
this is basically your public consultations or public engagement meetings.
Okay.
This is also part of what the Local Authority Act makes provision for under Section 88 of the Act, that is talking about public consultations and when they should happen. With the new amendments to the Act, it says we need to at least have these meetings 3 times a year.
Okay.
But for the city of Windhoek, it's a unique situation this year for us because it's the last term for our council, the current council, or well, it's actually the general situation for every local authority.
Yes.
And then as a result, the current council decided, okay, well, we want to have these meetings in this different format. And the format is that we first need to engage the community leaders in the various capacity so that we take them through what council has achieved for the 5 years since they came into office in 2020, and then now this is the last year. And also what were the challenges and also what are the plans on the ground now or on the table, and with what resources or with which provision of resources being made for those plans to be realized.
I see.
So that's basically it. So it's kind of giving an account to the electorate or to the constituencies, to the residents of Windhoek, to tell them about what the current council has done. If they did not do something, why not? And what is the mitigation factors going forward.
I see.
So we started these meetings on the 13th of July. So we have so far covered, I should say, about 6 meetings that we have so far covered. We had covered various constituencies, that is now your Katutura East, Katutura Central, John Pandeni, Windhoek Rural Mix. We have Tobias Hainyeko, Moses Garweb. We have the Commerce Dal and Samara Machel. And then we also have your Constituency Development Committee, that is your leaders in the communities that are elected to, be the link between the constituency and any stakeholders. In this case, the City of Windhoek, we also have neighborhood committees. These are members of the public elected in their in their community to represent the city of Windhoek and the community. So they are the link between us and the community. When we want to communicate to the community, it's easier to go through the structure. And this is the structure. And obviously, we also met the churches and other associations and the NGOs. And the 6th of August, we'll be meeting the business community through the Namibia NICCI, Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And then we will also again meet the constituency of Windhoek East, Windhoek West, as well as the ratepayers associations. And as well as on the 10th of August, we will be meeting Groothoop. And then the last group will be the saving groups.
Oh, I see.
We kind of categorized them in such a manner that it's easy to manage, because the interest, while we are all residents of Windhoek, the interest is not completely the same.
Yes.
Well, the overall goal will be the same, but the challenges are different.
Yes,
and as a result, you have to repackage the information every time you are meeting a group, depending to tailor make it to their needs.
Yes.
And that is what actually happens. That's why we do also live stream this engagement. And the purpose of that is that because we are meeting particularly the community leaders, we also want the members of the public in those communities to be able to follow and to hear. And after this group or these pre-meetings, we call them pre-meetings because we are now meeting only the leaders, but we will go back to the community, hopefully end of this month, beginning of September, to now speak to the wider audience, to the wider public.
Okay.
Obviously, when you have leaders in the community and you engage them first on what you have done, it's supposed to make it easier for you when you go back for the wider audience, for people to really now also understand for themselves what were you guys discussing, and they can also ask questions.
Yeah.
Very interestingly, this structure of the format, for the first time we are carrying out meetings in this format. It's really, really effective. I'm saying it's effective because the structure is that the mayor will open the meeting giving a highlight of the purpose of the meeting at the high level. And then the CEO will go in with the presentation of the overall organizational performance. Obviously, we talk about the challenges as well. We talk about plans. And then other departments, the 9 remaining departments will all come in with the presentations to speak about particularly the things that particular department has achieved within the period of council, and as well as their challenges and so forth. And thereafter, the members of the public can start asking questions or giving inputs and so on. And that is how it is, and we are done with the meeting. So that is actually the structure or the format of the meetings.
Okay, so this is in preparation for the national, regional council and local authority elections that are coming in, I think it's November this year. And tell me, do the councillors attend the meetings?
Yes, the councillors are also attending the meeting. One thing I forgot to mention is that these meetings, because of the nature of the people that are attending the meetings, most of the people are working. So you have to have meetings in the afternoon during the weekday. We start around 6 o'clock when it's Wednesdays, and on Sundays we start at 1. And the whole idea why we structure it that way is that we want to make sure that people, as many people as possible, they are able to attend such meetings. Because I mean, it doesn't help you set up a meeting and you are talking to yourself. So it's really have to make it more possible for the members of the public, these particular community leaders that we are targeting to come and attend the meetings.
Accessible to them.
Accessible to the meetings. I think what we with the meetings that I mentioned that we've covered so far, I should say it was really successful. In the sense that even us internally, it gives you an opportunity to reflect and also to understand certain perspective, because when the community members are raising questions, you are also a member of the community. They kind of represent also your questions. So when they are asking some of these things that you don't think about. So these are the people that are living in those communities, and they know exactly what they go through, what type of challenges they go through. And it was also a great opportunity for them to actually appreciate the work of council, because a lot of people say, but you are actually now, we realize we are doing so much, what we did not know about. But you know that, what does that mean to us? It actually means maybe we are not communicating what we are doing enough. So this type of approach is actually working, and maybe it's something that we need to consider also in the future to be consulting in this manner.
And with the social media aspect of the meetings, if people who are not physically there, if they type in questions, are those also fielded during the meeting?
What we do with that is, it's not immediately. What we do is that we try to answer as much as possible, because most of the time we are sitting with the answers, because we have those presentations, we are sitting in the meeting, we have been sitting in the meeting, so most of the questions will have the answer. But they might be those critical ones that we don't have the answer to, so we will then, after the meeting, share with those relevant departments. So next time they do a presentation to the next group, because all these meetings are being live streamed, they will also touch base on that question that was asked. That way, you are also managing time very well, because you will not be able to finish it. This meeting takes long, but it's for a good cause, because definitely we need information, and when people are well informed, you have less problems, because most of the problems are created because people do not have the information on certain things. And it doesn't mean that when people are querying certain things, they want to be difficult. No, they don't want to be difficult, they just want to know. And sometimes those of us that sit with the information, you take it for granted. You think, they're supposed to know. But people don't really know the information. And sometimes the issue of languages. People also sometimes, it takes time for you to understand a certain topic, especially if it's presented in another language. And during these meetings, the members of the public can ask questions in whatever language of their choice. And then the explanation can also be provided. Unfortunately, we have not made provision to speak in very different vernacular in terms of presentation, because again, it will take long. But so far, we have not really found ourselves with a problem where we cannot assist those that want to speak in that particular language.
Okay, no, excellent. I think it's a very noble and worthwhile and necessary initiative. With your experience now as having been through a number of these meetings, share with us a few of the highlights, the achievements from the last 5 years that really stick out for you.
Yes. Well, I think what I really appreciate a lot is for instance, from our infrastructure department, this year was a very unique year in terms of the rain. And obviously the devastating impacts that it had on our infrastructure. So a lot of people, including myself, is to appreciate actually what happens behind the scene and what is currently happening on our roads. We have so much road work happening in the city. Some are major roads work, others are minor pothole repairs, which we still have a long way to cover. So what I appreciate is actually the distance that we have to maintain in terms of road maintenance, the network, the road network. That, sometimes we take it for granted to say we have this much tar road network, we have this much gravel road that we are also maintaining, and this is what we do on a daily basis to make sure that our mobility, our residents' mobility is smooth and so on. And obviously, you still understand that you don't cover every single part of the roads that the residents of Windhoek takes. So you need to put into consideration that some of the roads we don't actually reach on a daily basis. And that feedback is important for your technicians and the foremen on the ground also to be able to know that, okay, there's this other road that we need to attend to, there's another hole in the middle of the road that we need to attend to. So that road network information for me is very, very important, because we need to appreciate that. And also when it comes to water, you see, people sometimes think that because of the nature of the reclamation of our water, or the technical part of it. The water is coming from your sewer system, it goes through for filtering and all the treatment, and it comes back. A lot of people are buying water. And when we say, why do you buy water when our water is actually the safest to drink? It's because people also don't really appreciate what the labs that we have. And we are lucky to be one among so many countries that have those labs that are actually testing our water on a daily basis. And we need to appreciate the work they do. When you visit this lab, you can clearly see the process that is undergoing the water that we drink. And you get to appreciate that really we are doing a great job, and it's something that the story we need to tell most of the time for people to appreciate.
Lydia, thank you. Let's just take a break there, because we quickly have to go for a commercial break, but we'll be back with more of this conversation on the evening review. Stay with us. Welcome back to the evening review. My name is Ogito Greg, and in studio with me this evening is Lydia Amutenya, the Public Relations Officer for the City of Windhoek. Ms. Lydia, we were just discussing the pre-stakeholder engagements that the City of Windhoek has been having in a run-up to more broader stakeholder engagements, maybe by early September. It's very important communication, but always it's not easy to get it done right the first time. And even early this week, there were protests at the city head office, and one could say that a lot of what caused those protests was a need for information, a lack of communication. With this new initiative or approach that the City of Windhoek is instituting now, have you seen things getting a little bit better? Do you think that it needs time for people to get used to the new approach and for you really to reap the fruits? Or is there still more that needs to be done to keep citizens of Windhoek informed?
Yes, well, Ogito, you have actually summed it up better. It's just to say that the approach that we have taken now, so far we have only had consultations with the community leaders.
Yes.
So the masses out there, and that is your members of the public, are still, not everyone is following the discussions when it's happening. And also not everyone even knows that there's something like that's happening, despite the fact that you have communicated to those that need to attend. Now, to your questions, whether things are getting better, yes, with the current group that we have consulted so far, the feedback we are getting is very promising and we are happy. But it also shows us that when we go back for the wider public consultations, it's probably going to take longer.
Yeah.
So we need to look at various things. It's the venue, it's the length of the meeting, because, if we were to present, all the 10 departments are presenting, we probably have to trim those presentations so that we make sure that we don't sleep at that venue that particular day. Yes. And also it's the nature in which we package the information. So it needs to be understood. They say the secret of effective communication is that you need to package it in the sense that people understand what you are saying and not just hearing you. Yes. You don't want people just to hear what you are saying. You want them to understand and, to be able to take what you have told them further. So those are some of the things that we are working out, also to be able to see how we are going to manage that process. But I think I want to mention that, lack of information and is not, well, it's sometimes about lack of information, but it's also about information overload. I provide you with a lot of information, but then you are not very sure now what did I say, or the information is just also too much. Yes. So packaging it in this manner also helps you to have this particular group at that particular time to be able to listen to you, understand what you are saying, and ask questions. When you are engaging one-on-one, or when people are asking questions, then you get to understand, okay, that people were very clear when I spoke or when I presented something. But when there is no questions, then you also get worried to say, okay, but what just happened here? Is it that I was not clear, or people are not interested in what I just said? So you will know there are specific departments that are of great interest. Human housing and property management, and that is where land delivery is, as well as human settlement. Yes. That's one key department. People want land, they want to own homes or houses and so on. The other department is electricity. Yes. People want to be able to do this and that with their electricity. They don't want to stay in the dark. It's a basic services. Then you have infrastructure. That is your water, your roads, your solid waste management, and so forth. Yes. So those are some of the key departments. All the other departments are very important. But for sure that this particular department, and sometimes for them also it takes a while for them to explain because of the nature of the departments. It's so huge. So you need to also to unpack that information and to be able to dissect it properly to the public to understand. And when you are engaging, you need also to be very patient, because people will not take home the questions that have already prepared. Even if they think you have addressed them, they would want to touch on that, because they are not only representing themselves, they are representing others in the community out there. Yes. So with the overall exercise that we've done so far, although we are not done, so far so good, as I mentioned, and I think with the wider public consultations that is coming, I'm foreseeing already that we will probably have a challenge with the time, because it will take long for us to finish these meetings. But if that is what it has to take for us to be able to bring everyone on board on the same understanding, we have to do it that way. Yeah.
Let's touch on a couple of issues related to the first two departments that you mentioned, the one about human habitation. And there I'd just like you to give us a brief update. The community that we had to move earlier this year due to the floods, they are being dubbed the remote control community. I don't know who came up with that name, but there have been some concerns expressed, and perhaps everybody doesn't know what the city has done, especially in terms of making it easier for those residents to restart their lives. And once you've shared that with us, I'd also like you to share a little bit the successes that you guys have been having in terms of electrifying the informal settlements.
Okay. Starting with the first one, okay, you know, I mentioned earlier that we had people that were flooded from in Ochomise. And maybe before I move further is to say these people or these residents were residing alongside the riverbed. They were not relocated by City of Windhoek in that specific area that they were occupying.
Yeah.
So, you know, the situation in Windhoek, land is an issue. So when sometimes a person see an open land, they don't think twice about what will be the consequences in case of that and that happening. They see an opportunity for them to put up a structure. It's not correct, but that's what actually happening on the ground.
Yes.
So when it rains now, January, Feb, they were flooded. So council had to relocate these people to a safer ground.
Yes.
The safest ground available was the portion of Farm 508
Yes.
that I spoke about. In this portion, part of that portion was already occupied.
Yes.
There are people that we have relocated there around 2020, if I'm not mistaken, from Ochomise as well.
Yeah.
So there were people residing in that area. However, they were also residing in that area with limited municipal services.
Yes.
When I speak about limited municipal services, I'm saying this is not a formalized area. It's an area that is not yet formalized, but it's occupied because there are also people that are occupying this area and they are not put there by the City of Windhoek.
Yes. Yes.
They found space there and they moved there. And we had water taps that were put in that specific area. I can't remember how many there were before we relocated this new group. The roads or the access to this place, the roads, the east and what I can call informal roads. Initially, they were informal roads,
Yeah.
which council is now also now and then is grading to make it just more easier for one to be able to access the area.
Yes.
Now, when the residents from Ochomise, the ones that we relocated this year, were flooded, we also just cleared the area in that surrounding and we relocated them there.
Yeah.
They are close to 300, there are over 300 people that are residing there. So I visited the area on Friday just for me to, update myself on what is their current conditions and what is happening, speaking to some of the residents that have been in the area and also just hearing what is going on in the specific area. So to my surprise, because last time I was there, it was actually in April.
Yeah.
So to my surprise, when I went back, I found the area is very clean. Well, that's one thing. Very, very clean. And these people don't have your green willy beans.
Yeah, yeah.
So they are using the way of collecting waste in the informal settlements where you get the black plastic bags and you put your waste.
Yeah.
And the municipality will then collect and so on. Then the area is well structured. Structured means already from the top of the mountain where you are standing when you are looking down, because when you are on top of the mountain and you look down, you will be able to look to have a proper overview of this particular area. You can clearly see how they demarcated
Yes.
areas. You can easily see where you can go through and so on. But not only that, there was a prefabricated structure in a fence. And that is a police station, a mobile police station by a provision that was provided by the Commerce Regional Council.
Yeah.
The police goes there once in a while to provide the required services from the police.
Yeah.
The same area, also the health provision is being utilized from there to say if the outreach program for health, for the Directorate of Health under the Commerce Regional Council goes there to provide the outreach program for health.
Lydia, it's very interesting, but our time is almost up.
Okay.
So I
And
just
there's a
like
school.
and there's a school. It's important. But I'd like you just to finish up for us with a message about the importance of communication and how residents can get information that they need from the city when they do.
Okay, communication is very important because without it, we'll have chaos. And usually when you have chaos, because people are not well communicated to, it's very difficult to manage.
Yes. Yes.
So in our daily operations, we are trying to improve our way of communicating to our residents.
That's good.
Because we are dealing with a lot of residents in different categories.
Yes.
So we need to be mindful of the language that we use so that people understand. And that's why we have various mediums that we need to use for people to understand our messages. It's also very important for the members of the public to understand that council is mandated by the Local Authority Act to ensure that we provide the municipal services. And when we say you cannot reside in that particular area because there's no services provided, the Act also does not allow us to locate or to have people in an area that doesn't have services. That's why we are very fast with the relocation area to provide them with services like water, toilets, and so on. About 40 or so individual toilets has been so far installed and so on.
Very good.
Now, going forward, I think it's also important for us to update our public that we are creating more platforms, communication platforms, for people to be able to access information. We came up with a new platform that is a City of Windhoek WhatsApp channel.
Okay.
Yes, where the members of the public can get access to information that is already approved by the city, and we follow this channel on your cell phone. You don't have to go through any other things, and the information comes to you, and you know it's verified information. It's not information that you are getting elsewhere.
Thank you, Lydia.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there because our time has run up. But you did catch that last important piece of information. Get yourself on the WhatsApp channel so that you can be informed. Thank you for joining us, and join us again for the next evening review. Good night.